In our today's program, two experts are participating in the discussion. They are Dr. Subramaniam Garu, the senior consultant, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. The other expert with us is Dr. Nalini Shastri. She is the principal of Sri Venkateswara College of Pharmacy, Hyderabad. This is affiliated college to Usmania University. The course materials of this program have been designed and developed with the collaboration of Dr. Reddy Labs. Dr. Reddy Labs is a renowned chemical industry in our state and the country, you know very well. And the Reddy Labs, they have some students who are now as trainees. They took some trainees with the qualification 10+2. So they want to update the skills and the industry is interested to update their skills. So they approached the university in the last year, that is 2002, we have come to an agreement to have this new program. And it's a new program in the countrywide. It's first of its kind at the degree level. We are offering this program in sciences. And now, why it is BSc special? One can ask a question. Okay, it is a BSc special because Ambedkar Open University has a lot of flexibility. Student can take a BSc course with one science subject and two other subjects, that is social science or arts, and two science subjects and one or other subjects as social science or art subject. But here in our new program, this is not flexible. It is a compulsory that one has to opt the subjects alone. They are chemistry, drug technology. And this particular program is offered in English medium, and the entry criteria is also different. Here one must be a intermediate passed candidate with chemistry as one of the science subjects, and it is compulsory. And the fee structure also a special one, that is in the first year he has to complete foundation course as like other students, and then second and third year he has to pay 5,000 per year for the subjects. And this is also special. That's why we designate this as a BSc special program drug science. And now about the optional subjects, I told you chemistry and drug chemistry, drug technology, these three subjects. And the students, you know very well, every subject has 4 courses. And in the foundation course first year, he will have the candidate will complete 4 subjects. There are 2 in languages and 1 is social science and technology. After completing first year, he can opt this course if he is intermediate science passed candidate, and he has to go for these 3 subjects: chemistry, drug technology. Each will have again 4 courses, and 2 each in second year and 2 each in third year. That is 2 courses in chemistry, 2 courses in drug chemistry, 2 courses in drug technology in second year BSc. And like so, in third year also 2 courses of chemistry and 2 courses of drug technology and 2 courses of drug chemistry one has to complete. And in the same way, the candidate will have to finish the practicals. Each paper, theory, just like you have theory papers and 4 practical papers in second year and 4 practical papers in third year. So each subject will have 2. That means including chemistry, you will have 6 practicals, 2 each in subject. So 6 plus 6, 12. This way you will have optional subjects, and the eligibility criteria I told you in the beginning. One must be a passed candidate of intermediate science and chemistry as one of the compulsory subjects. And then we have centers, limited centers throughout the state. One is at Tirupati, other is at Vizag and in Hyderabad, and one more in Vijayawada or Guntur, still we have to decide it, and then one more in Kakinada. So in the beginning we have 5 centers, and the practicals one can take in the different centers. In Mahila University we are conducting at Tirupati, and we may have practicals in Vizag, maybe with the help of the university, Andhra University or other pharmacy college, yet to be decided. And the other center for practicals may be Bhimavaram Pharmacy College, and in Hyderabad Vanita Mahavidyalaya is a pharmacy college where we will have the practical classes. But theory counseling, we have regular centers in the areas what I mentioned just now, and you will take the theory counseling classes there itself. So we will have the experts from pharmacy colleges. So what I mean to say here is these courses more related to pharmacy type and more technical and vocational. So it's an interesting program and one can opt and they can have a job potentiality very much. And now let us go to the actually the subjects what are dealt in this program and what are the main courses we have and briefly the contents. Now I may request our Subramanian Garu today. I will explain about the microbial biotechnology. It is a course 2 in our drug chemistry. As I told you, drug chemistry is one subject among the 3 subjects in our drug sciences. So about this course 2, microbial biotechnology, Dr. Subramanian Garu will explain briefly about the contents and the other important aspects of it. Subramanian Garu.
Thank you, sir. Microbiotechnology or microbial biotechnology is an important topic designed in the syllabus for the BSc Special Sciences, that is drug chemistry and drug technology. As everybody is aware, microorganisms are the source of production of many important drugs, life-saving drugs like antibiotics. And this industrial production of these products have led to a development of a new science called biotechnology, which is very important and fast developing in the country. And as the drug industry is also expanding very rapidly, and Hyderabad also is being the pharmaceutical capital of this country, many drug industries are coming up, and so these production aspects are very important, and that is why these syllabus has contained so many important things, and microbial biotechnology is one aspect which gives the student the understanding of the various production of these life saving drugs. And for giving or covering all the important aspects of microbial biotechnology, this course is divided into 5 main blocks. The first block, as I told you, microorganisms are the source of production of so many life saving drugs. One must have an idea about the nature of microorganisms. So the block 1 deals with general microbiology, that is the characteristics of the microbes or the fungi that we deal, and then it also tells about the various characteristics, development of pure cultures, how we should preserve these cultures, and what are the other factors which keep these microbes useful for various production aspects. And then the second block deals with antimicrobials and their evaluation, how to control microorganisms by the physical agents. Similarly, how to control microorganisms by the chemical agents. And the other important aspect is sterility. Sterility is very important for any drug that is produced, either it is a solid form or a liquid form or injectable form. Sterility is very important. So sterility and sterility testing of all the dosage forms of different drugs is dealt in the second block. The third block, we come to the industrial microbiology. The industrial microbiology also is divided in 2 parts: industrial microbiology production and industrial microbiology evolution. In industrial microbiology production, we cover the important aspects of production of the life saving drugs, as I told you. As you know, penicillin is the first antibiotic that is produced industrially. And before taking up the production, the syllabus, the block tells about the fermenters, the process of fermentation. As you know, fermentation we usually mean production of alcohol. Similarly, how the fermentation technique is utilized for the production of various antibiotics is covered in this block, in these units. There are so many antibiotics, but we cover 3 important series of antibiotics: penicillin, penicillin products, streptomycin and tetracyclines, which are very life saving antibiotics used in the drug industry. Similarly, there are some nutrition supplements which are also produced on microbial basis. Under these vitamins, the student is told about the production of vitamin B2, that is riboflavin, which is used for glossitis and other preventable nutritional disorders. Similarly, vitamin B12, which is to prevent pernicious anemia and also is various other forms of anemia. So, production of riboflavin and vitamin B12 is dealt in the industrial production of microbiology. And then the other part is industrial microbiology evaluation, where not only the production of the antibiotics, but once an antibiotic is produced, the drug analyst must be able to know what the potency of the drug that is contained, that which is on the label. So, this block deals with the various tests involved for knowing the potency of the particular vitamin, say penicillin, streptomycin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, or any other antibiotic, the potency of those. Similarly, the potency of folic acid, the potency of vitamin B12 or vitamin riboflavin, all these are covered. And the other aspect, important aspect, as I told you, is the microbial genetics and microbial technology. As you know, microbial genetics is the recent advancement for the production or augmentation of various factors like medicines, agriculture, animal products. And we are dealing about drug chemistry. So, in drug chemistry, various important life saving drugs, suppose you take insulin. Insulin is the drug of choice for prevention of diabetes or curing of diabetes. So, insulin is now produced artificially by using microbes. So, insulin can produce using the microbial genetics or genetic engineering methods, that is what is called the recombinant DNA technology. Similarly, some drugs like interferon, they are drugs used for prevention of cancer. So, these are all drugs that can be produced by using recombinant DNA technology. So, the various products that can be produced using the microbial biotechnology science, the genetic engineering, which is the latest production. Similarly, so many agricultural products, so many animal products, veterinary products, they are all produced by using the microbial biotechnology, and more so for artificial, the recombinant vaccines. Now, there are vaccines to prevent some of the disorders. Formerly, those vaccines are produced by conventional methods, but now in the genetic engineering, we can produce more superfine, more efficacious vaccines by the genetic engineering, the recombinant vaccines. So, all these are covered in the chapter in the block called microbial genetics. So, these are all the general points that are covered in microbial technology, which are very useful for the student of drug sciences.
Good, Subramanian Garu. Very interestingly you explained many things. I think general public also very familiar about many medicines like some antibiotics and many other medical things are included in this particular course. Thank you, sir. And now, as Dr. Subramanian Garu said, the course materials generally in Open University, they are in self-instructional style. Do you say, Subramanian Garu, these materials also produced in the same line, just like in other courses? We are designing and developing these course materials of any Open University materials in self-instructional style.
Yes.
So, we have some blocks and each block will have some units and unit will have some self-assessment questions and main objectives, and the aims are explained in the beginning and introduction is given for every unit. Is it so? We have designed these course materials also?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I can show you, this is a course material
already
book on microbial biotechnology,
okay,
produced by different consultants, experts,
Yeah,
which are in the field, and as you have said, this is in the self-instructional mode.
Okay.
So, a student can read this book without much cooperation for a counselor, he can understand the lesson, the important aspects of the lesson. So, these are designed, and similarly for all the subjects you have mentioned, these books are developed by a team of experts and they will be very useful for the student.
Okay. Now, let us go to other course that is in drug chemistry. The other course is in chemical analysis. Now, Dr. Nalini Shastri Garu will explain the main contents and the blocks and the topics covered in this course. Can you explain, madam? Nalini Garu?
Thank you, Professor. See, first of all of you must have heard the word QC. QC or quality control. Now, each and every pharmaceutical unit has this quality control department. Now, what do? They do qualitative and quantitative analysis on various materials, that is raw material, packing material or finished product. Not only that, during every stage of manufacturing, they do test on the semi-finished goods, so that the final quality of the product is ensured. These tests, They can be chemical tests or instrumental tests. For that purpose, in our course, we have included two different subjects. One is under drug chemistry, one is chemical analysis, which is in the second year, and next is instrumental method of analysis, which is in the third year. Now, I will tell you something about this chemical analysis. This chemical analysis, as for all the syllabus of Open University, they are divided into some blocks, that is 4 to 5 blocks. Each block has some units. In the first block, it is general introduction to the chemical analysis, that is different type of chemical analysis, what are the techniques involved in this analysis, and what are the sources of error, what are the statistical treatment of analytical data, what are the various balances used, what are the maintenance of the balances, and not only that, how to write an analytical report, that is also mentioned. Now, the second and the third block, which covers the actual technique or actual method of chemical analysis. These are acid base titration, oxidation reduction titration, precipitation titration, complex symmetric titration, non-aqueous titrations. All these methods are elaborately covered in these blocks, and not only that, what are the applications, what are the precautions to be taken during the analysis, that are also covered. Next is a very important block, that is impurity analysis. Now, see, let me tell you one thing. When you tell a drug is 99.9% pure, now you will wonder what is that 0.1%. Is it safe or is it toxic? Now, this 0.1% decides whether the drug is safe to be used or not. That is, it decides the criteria for 99.9%. That is why this is a very important block, and pharmacopoeia, that is official books, they give a lot of limits for these impurities. Now, various limit tests are available, that tests on leads, arsenic, heavy metal, iron, sulphate, chloride, and even moisture. So, all these tests, how to perform this test, and what are the in different materials, they have to be performed differently. All these are described nicely in this block, and not only that, what are the sources of impurities are also covered in this block. And last block, which I feel is a very important block, that is quality of water. Quality of water, analysis of water. I need not tell you what a big hangama is being made about the water, but you are very aware water is the source of life. Plus, water not only is used for drinking purpose, in pharmaceutical industry, it is used for each and every step during the manufacturing, not only in the manufacturing in the products, but also for cleaning and washing of the equipments. So, you imagine if any potential contaminant is present in the water, what will happen to the drug which is produced finally. That is why this particular aspect is treated separately in a separate block. Here what we will be discussing is different type of contaminants which are present or which can be seen in the water, say like mineral impurities or pesticide impurities, microbiological contamination, all this will be dealt with it. Not only that, what are the sources, plus how to analyze the sources, and last and most important, what are the health hazards of this impure water. These are also discussed in this syllabus. So, the idea of all this drug chemistry is, once a student he covers this syllabus, he can go to the industry and take up the analysis easily, because he will know how to treat the material, and not only that, he can write a report also correctly, so that the manufacturer need not spend time and money to train him. So, that is what I wanted to just cover it briefly.
Yeah. Really, it's very interesting, Dr. Nalli Garu, and you explained, and it is included about water analysis and a drug, if it is impure or pure, how to analyze a drug, which is very important. And very interesting thing is, you explained about why 99.9% we say it is pure, and what is the value for that. Yeah, it's really interesting. And water, nowadays about water pollution everybody is talking, and it is the order of the day. We have to have the pure water, and how to purify the water, how to take a pure water, and whether it is pure or impure, we can say by knowing these some methods included in this particular course. Now, let us switch over to other subject, that is drug technology. I said in the beginning we will have drug chemistry and drug technology. Now, they have explained about course 1 and course 2 of drug chemistry. Now, we go for course 1 and course 2 of drug technology. Now, Dr. Subramanian Garu will explain about the drug technology, that is course 1 of drug technology, unit operations. So, generally we know in industry, how a chemist should know what are the main methods used and the manufacturing missions, what missions we have in these. I think they are included in this. Now, Subramanian Garu will highlight some of the topics covered in this course. Subramanian Garu, please.
As you have said, the drug industry, as madam has explained, you have a quality control unit, you have a manufacturing unit, you have different units for carrying out different manufacturing aspects of a drug industry. So, they are all different units which will ultimately produce the drug. So, the drug technologist has to go around various units for the final product to come out. So, under these unit operations, so a student will learn about the various units, various production level units that one has to go. So, this also unit operation has got 24 units, and these are divided into main 5 blocks. So, these 5 blocks, each block will tell about different aspects. Suppose, as I told you, unit operations, it includes the material handling, the raw material handling, then you have the size reduction, you have mixing techniques, you have filtration, you have humidification, you have distillation, drying, automated process control. So, these are all different units. So, the whole syllabus of unit operations is divided into these main things, and as I told you, in the first block, the student will learn about the fluid flow and the material, raw material, how the raw material should be handled. And first is the raw material should be mixed, either it may be a solid to solid, or it is solid to liquid, or liquid liquid. So, the mixing, and for that mixing in the unit, there will be lot of equipment utilized for mixing. There are different mixing equipment. So, all those different mixing, for a smaller unit, there may be a small mixing unit. For a manufacturer, bulk manufacturing, there are bigger mixing units. So, all these different mixing equipment used for mixing these drugs are dealt in this block. Similarly, then one should know about the heat transfer and evaporation. That is one of the important aspects of unit operations. So, you have, somebody should have the knowledge of the thermodynamics, about the heat transfer principles, the basic heat transfer principles. Then about the industrial assignments for heat transfer, and then evaporation. And there are so many evaporation techniques and evaporation equipment that is used in the drug industry, whether it is a small unit or a bigger manufacturing unit. So, all these things are covered in the second block, and the heat transfer and evaporation. And this also covers the various distillation and drying process. You have a lot of distillation apparatus, the moisture content, the mechanism and rate of distillation. Similarly, for drying, the rate of drying, and there are different apparatus used for as dryers. Different dryers are used. You have the tray dryer, you have a vacuum dryer, you have a rotary dryer. Different dryers are used depending upon the material that is being utilized for the production of that particular drug. So, all these dryers are explained in this block. Similarly, you have a block on crystallization. Crystallization, you have what I call the solubility curves, the calculation and the mechanism of crystallization, and various forms of crystallization and various equipment used as crystallizers, that all are explained in the crystallization unit. Similarly, there are materials for plant production, construction, either a small unit or big unit. There are a lot of material, raw material used like iron, glass, like various polymers, aluminum, tin, all these things are used. So, for various materials used for plant construction of a drug industry, so the student must know about the basic nature and characteristic of all the materials that are used, and then ultimately in the unit production you have what are called an automated process control systems. At every stage you can control the system and see the, as madam said, the quality control is maintained at every stage, right from mixing or evaporation or drying or converting into a tablet form or any whatever dosage form, the quality control must be maintained. For that, the industry has developed automated process control systems. So, a student is given the basic concepts of all these automatic process control systems also. So, in unit operations, all these things are covered in 24 units divided into 5 main blocks, and they are all explained in a book on unit operations, which is self-instructional format.
Very good, Subramanian Garu. So you did very well, and this unit operations, what type of techniques used for drug production, and different methods and crystallization, and some dryers shall be used in the unit operations, and student will be knowing much about the during the production and what type of machinery operations taken place. I think he must be knowing with this these contents. Now let us go to other course, that is drug technology in course 2, drug product machinery operations is the other course in drug technology. Now Dr. Nalini will explain about this particular course and the blacks covered and the number of units here and the contents briefly. She will explain now. Nalini garu.
Yeah. Actually, in the introduction, Professor Ramachandra said that this course is special. Well, this course is special for one more reason. It is not only whatever he has mentioned, but because of the approach of this particular course. Let me tell you that this particular course is industrial approach. That means whatever happens in the industry, those particular examples, those particular methods are incorporated in this course. Now, here I will be now talking of drug product machinery operations. The machineries which are used for manufacturing of various dosage forms means tablets, capsules, injectables, whatever machineries are used in the industry, those machineries we have incorporated into our schedule or module with diagrams plus how they are operated, how they are clean, and the versatility of the application is also discussed. That means one mixer can be used for many other operation also, that also we have discussed. Now let me tell you briefly what this module is. This has around 6 blocks. The first block is devoted exclusively for liquid dosage form. Liquid dosage form means syrups and solutions, similar types. Now here we are going to discuss different types of mixing tanks, mixing elements, propeller mixers, turbine mixers, and then different types of pump, reciprocating pump, hydraulic pumps, and then different type of filtering units which is required to clarify the solutions, and lastly the bottle filling units, that is how the bottle are filled, how they are capped, and how they are sealed. The whole unit on the conveyor belt, how it is present in the industry, same thing is discussed in our book. Next block is devoted to dispersed dosage form. Dispersed dosage form means suspensions and emulsions. Here also different type of mixers, different type of filling equipments, and especially certain size reduction equipments are discussed. Size reduction means how to make the product smaller in size, because we need the product to be stable. These are discussed. Then homogenizers we have, emulsifiers we have. These are diagrammatically discussed, and various questionnaires are also asked to improve your knowledge. Then in the third block we have devoted to semi-solids like creams and ointments, and also special equipments which are used in these type of manufacturing systems are discussed. Here the tube filling and crimping machine are the very important parts. Here not only for semi-automatic but also automatic type of systems we have discussed.
Thank Dr. Subramanian Garu to participate in this program, to highlight the different topics covered in subjects, and I thank Dr. Nalini Garu who have come forward to highlight the program and the topics covered in different blocks and units. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Subramanian.